Hi, I'm Brian. I'm here at the Portage Theater, and I'm with Mitch. Mitch, why are we here?
We are here tonight for the Horror Society Film Festival. We got a two-day event featuring the best in independent movies and classic horror on the big screen.
So, Mitch, what's your favorite kind of horror movie?
I love the slasher movies. I love the blood and guts. I love the special effects. I love all the nastiness and the gore. I don't have a particular favorite, but anything that people get sliced up for, and yeah, I'm good to go with that. So.
And do you think Chicago is a good horror movie town?
I think so. I think it's great. I think Second City is kind of not the term anymore for horror. A lot of stuff going out in LA. You can't beat LA with films, but I think Chicago's got a great horror community. It's got a great, it's just a feel to it and a sense of community, and it's really Midwestern, but we're getting a lot of filmmakers, and it's really good. I love it. So.
Don't you feel like one, amongst these people? Like, these are our people.
I do, very much so. These are our people. These are the horror freaks right here. There you go.
And we'll be here till 2 today on Saturday, and when tomorrow?
Yeah, 2 a.m. today. Tomorrow we start at 1:30 p.m. Doors open, and we're running until about 10. And got some great movies tomorrow, too. So, yeah.
All right, let's go check out some booths. All right, we are at the Zombie Universe booth here at the Horror Festival, and I'm here with Jeff. Jeff, what is Zombie Universe?
Zombie Universe, it's a brand new trademark. It's a company. It's wonderful. We try and address everything zombie, undead, revenant, that whole subgenre of horror and fantasy, and just try and bring some fun to it. It's not all blood and gore and decomposition. Try and bring a little bit of humor to it if at all possible.
So what got you into zombies?
Probably seeing Night of the Living Dead on Channel 32 here in Chicago back in, I don't know, maybe 1975. I had seen photos of it and read about it in Famous Monsters magazine. And when I had learned it was going to be on TV that time, I made sure to do it. I was probably 13 years old, and pretty much down that path ever since.
Now, you have a field guide to common zombies. Which one's your favorite, or do you want to highlight any of them?
Well, we could probably start, of course, mimes. I think mimes are pretty much terrifying regardless, whether they're trying to eat your head or not. The small one there, that is my 5-year-old daughter, Jenny, so that one's probably got a real close spot in my heart.
So, zombies run in the family?
Absolutely. Jenny, who did pose for that, she's a little bit terrified of the photo, doesn't like coming into Daddy's studio.
And so, with movies like Zombieland and the best-selling book, World War Z, zombies have become very mainstream and popular. Do you think there's any room to grow in the zombie genre still?
I think there is some room as long as the quality is there. Honestly, I was lucky to have hit it when I did. It's something I love, I enjoy, and to see so much of society and media and entertainment coming around to what I perceive as my way of thinking, it's just fantastic. It makes me excited about the future. My gosh, you've got The Walking Dead on AMC. Can't go wrong with that. World War Z is being made into a movie. Field Guide to Common Zombies. Zombie Universe, we've got a book coming out in the spring with Sterling Publishing. So it seems to be growing. It's growing for me, and it seems to be doing quite well down the future in media.
If people want to find more about zombies or your company, where should they go?
www.zombie-universe.com or our Facebook page, Zombie Universe.
All right, that's for the zombie booth. All right, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. I'm standing at the Slices of Life booth, and it's world premiering tonight at the festival, and I'm standing here with
Anthony Sumner.
And?
I'm Eric.
Right. So, tell us about the film.
It's an old school anthology film, kind of in the vein of Creepshow, and very low budget, very fun, lots of gore, lots of booby.
Was that your favorite part?
It was. I just do what I'm told.
So, where did the idea for the movie come from? How did the ball get rolling on it?
We actually conceived of it about 5 years ago, actually, and then started it about 4 years ago. And we love anthologies, we love horror. To be cost effective, we chose to do it as an anthology. That way we could sort of shoot a segment, raise money, shoot a segment, raise money, shoot a segment. And that's why it took us so long, but it worked out really well because each segment could also be a short at festivals, and that sort of kept the ball rolling and got people excited and got a lot of other people involved.
What were you guys doing when the idea happened? Were you brainstorming or just kind of playing Xbox?
Well, I was playing Xbox, but what's the best way we can do this? And it's like, all right, I got some ideas. Let's do this. I have this idea. We have these great short stories to do. I'm just like, all right, dude, that sounds great, man. That sounds awesome. So this is the guy. So, but it was awesome, and he came up with the ideas. So.
What gets you involved in horror movies? Did you have a favorite one as a kid, or what got you in?
The Exorcist, I would say, like most people, got me really into it when I was a kid, and then that's all I watched as a kid. I'm a huge horror fan. Was weaned on the first Fangoria forward, so when this got into Fangoria, that was like the pinnacle of my life, basically. So yeah, I've always been a horror fan.
Yeah. And then, what were your favorite horror movies?
I loved, as a kid, I loved It, and I know, especially when we were making this, we talked about like Dead Alive and movies that like really went there, and like oh, we got to go there, man. We can't hold back. We got to go there. So I'm like, I love It. It's one of my favorites. Dead Alive. Obviously, Evil Dead 2 is one of the most watchable movies on earth, and we see movies all the time at festivals like this that inspire us all the time. They're just amazing, so.
And then it's the world premiere tonight. Are you guys just jacked out of your shoes?
Yeah, we're totally psyched. Completely psyched.
Are you psyched? Everyone's wooing and stuff. So if someone wants to get in touch and contact you guys about Slices of Life, how do they do so?
Go to Facebook. Facebook's really the best way to follow us. We need more likes. And it's Facebook Slices of Life movie.
All right. Well, good luck tonight, guys.
Thank you so much for everything here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dude, thank you. That's awesome, man.
All right, I'm here with one of the sponsors of the festival. Your name is?
Dimitrios.
And your company is?
HorrorMovieEmpire.com.
So basically you're like the superstore for everything horror, right?
Yes, the Walmart of horror. Everything. Toys, games, DVDs, books, everything. Clothing, whatever you want, I got it.
How did you get involved with the festival?
They actually contacted me and asked if I wanted to be a sponsor, and I said yes, and that's how I got involved with it. That's about it.
What brought you to the horror movies? Like, what was the first horror movie you saw that you loved, or like something where you're like, that's me?
The first horror movie I ever saw was Nightmare on Elm Street. I was about 5 years old. My brother was 10 years older than me, and he was watching with his friends, and I wanted to be cool and watch it with them, so I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street. Scared the shit out of me, basically. But since then, I've been addicted and watched everything. Every horror movie there is, I've tried to see it.
Can I touch your beard?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Yeah. Oh, it's a lucky beard. Yeah.
I feel lucky. We're going to buy lotto tickets. All right, so if someone wants to get in touch with you or buy stuff, where should they go?
Go to shop.horrormovieempire.com.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with Corey at the Incest Death Squad booth, and Corey is the director of this film. And could you just give us a brief synopsis of it?
Incest Death Squad 1 is a shot-for-shot remake of Fritz Lang's M. No, I'm kidding. It's a story about an incestuous brother and sister who killed tourists in the name of God. And an intrepid reporter kind of stumbles on their incestuous relationship and gets tangled up in all their nonsense. And it's a family film, is what it incest. Of course, it's family.
And then you have Incest Death Squad 2. What's that about?
Part 2, Incest Death Squad 2, is a shot-for-shot remake of Finding Nemo. No, it's not. It takes up about a month after the first one ends, and basically, with the first one, when I was shooting it, all the cast and the crew were like, when are we going to do the second one? When are we going to do the second one? And I'm like, I'm not doing another goddamn movie. I said, this thing almost killed me. I said, so I'm not doing another one. But it just lent itself to a sequel, the way it ended. So I was like, okay, let's do another one, and let me correct the things I didn't like about the first one. sound issues and camera angles and story issues and gore and more boobies. I needed more of that in part 2, so that's what we did. We did a second one, and everybody was super excited to do it. And and part 2, I'm super proud. I'm proud of part 1, but I'm super proud of part 2.
So, would you say Hairspray is a direct influence on these movies?
Hairspray, probably not so much, but Multiple Maniacs with the lobster rape. And Ted V. Michaels was huge on these, and movies like Deranged, if you know Deranged by, I think Bob Clark had his fingers in there, but with Ezra Cobb and Robert Blossoms, who played Ezra Cobb. It was kind of like an Ed Gein movie. Movies like Deranged and Corpse Grinders, and just these really, screwed up, crazy, fringy, exploitation movies. That's the thrust. And the nice thing about being here at the Horror Society Film Festival, we have movies like Slices of Life and a Serbian film. These crazy, weird, and these are exploitation movies. And it's so fun to see these young filmmakers, doing these movies and taking a lot of pride in them and having such, talented people like Deneen Melody is in Slices of Life. And, it's a superstar-studded movie, and it's pure exploitation. And that's super fun to see. So, God bless Horror Society, or Satan bless Horror Society. I don't know which.
Take your pick. Will there be an Incest Death Squad 3? And if not, what do you want to do next?
No Incest Death Squad 3. No more incest movies for me.
For now.
Next, we're doing a Bukkake movie. No, of course we're not. The next movie is actually called Mediatrix. We're shooting it in April. Debbie Rochon, the one and only Debbie Rochon, a good friend. She is playing the Virgin Mary in Mediatrix, and it's based on kind of a true story. I'm from Wisconsin, and it's a movie about there's this shrine up there. This woman back in the 50s and 60s would see visions of the Virgin Mary. She was visited by them, and she parlayed that into her own cult. So there's this whole cult, and they still exist, this whole cult of people. And so that's kind of what the movie's based on. We're doing the movie on that, and Debbie Rochon starring, so we're shooting it in April. If anybody wants to invest, I'm an easy guy to find.
And how would we find you if we wanted to invest or buy one of these movies?
IncestDeathSquad.com. Real simple. Can't believe it.
Thank you, and go and get your own copy of Incest Death Squad. All right, we are now at the Chateau GRRR table, and I'm here with Chad. And Chad, what is Chateau GRRR?
Chateau GRRR is a social networking site, and this weekend we're out at the Horror Society Film Festival, and we are highlighting our recipe section on the site. So we're giving away human bacon. That's a recipe you can find on the site. You don't need to use human flesh if you don't like. You can use pork, but we've got some right here. Would you care to try some?
Please. That's good human.
Yeah, that's very good human. For this event, we put together a little commercial. We're a co-sponsor of the event this weekend, so we put together a commercial called Bacon, and zombie announcer introducing our bacon products, which we don't actually have, but we do have the recipe.
What was the idea, or what got the ball going on Chateau GRRR?
All my life I've loved horror and Halloween, and it just, come the 2000s, it felt like the natural thing to do to start a website.
Do you remember, I don't know, what's your first favorite horror movie or Halloween memory or Halloween costume?
Oh, yeah. I was a vampire since I was a little kid, but one year I did do Batman, the Adam West Batman. It was probably 73, 74, the old mask with the plastic sheets. And I do remember, for some reason, they would sell us the little plastic tarps for the costume with the picture of Batman on it instead of just the emblem. Like, why? But I am Batman. Why do I have a picture of me on the... Yeah, that was one of my earliest Halloween memories. A little disappointing.
So now that you're an adult, how do you celebrate Halloween now?
Now it's all year round with all the haunt conventions and the horror movie conventions. So Halloween, it's actually kind of scaled down a little bit at this point in life. But this year we're going to be at Neo with Kitty Zombie. We'll be co-hosting an event out there, and just a lot of partying. So we can do that as adults now.
Now, let's say someone not into bacon at all, let's say they're a vegetarian and they have other interests, what else could they use Chateau GRRR for?
Oh, we've got our haunted attraction directory, so you can put in your zip code and find haunts around your area. We've got the movie reviews and free postcards that people can send each other, you know, for Halloween or Mother's Day or just about any holiday. We've got twisted postcards for.
And so if they, you've just sold them, how would they get all this information and where would they need to go?
ChateauGRRR.com. That's Chateau, like the French house, hotel, CHATEAU, G and 3Rs.com. We'll get you there.
All right. So you know what to do. Go. All right, thank you. I am standing with an actress and the director, writer, everyman of the movie Ugly, and they are
Eric Johnson.
And
Ange, Yangas.
So how did the movie come about?
That's a real long story. Short version is I had a film that I was doing, and everything kind of fell apart. The actress had moved away, blah, 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 blah. So I took what I had and restructured the whole story to make it fit. And I realized the original footage I had shot didn't fit the original story. So it was more like this: body dysmorphic disorder, LSD, and just one's own psychosis and the things that take place in their mind, and putting visual images on intangible disorders and thoughts. So it kind of just spiraled from there. And I actually, like the last scene we shot, I wrote it an hour before we shot it. So I did it by the seat of my pants.
Nice. And then how did you, get involved?
Eric contacted me, and he just, I'm also an artist, so I felt his passion through the email that he sent me, and I was like, I have to do this. I'm not really into scary things, but he made me a fan of creepy stuff for sure after I did this.
Yeah. So how did you get into creepy things?
I was a creepy kid. So basically 5 years old, Nightmare on Elm Street came out. I probably shouldn't have been watching it. I was, and it just kind of changed the way I think about things. Even just the story with the nightmares, all that stuff, all the, it wasn't your typical horror film. So then I got obsessed with, Fangoria magazine and all that stuff. So I tried to not do horror films. I don't know how to scare people. I don't know how to write like that. And I kind of just stopped denying it. Started doing this stuff. That's the genre I want to go after. So.
Then, I know you're not into creepy things. How'd you get into art?
Art, well, ever since I was little, my childhood, my upbringing, it just kind of turned me into an artist. I had to create happy things. So for me, he was a polar opposite of what I am when it comes to art. So I just have a new appreciation for creepy, scary things like Eric likes.
So this is your first film, right?
This is the first one I've really kind of released. I've got a couple more on the DVD. That one screened in Cannes in 2006 at the Short Films Corner, and then I kind of fell out of it and trying to buy equipment and this and that and do it all myself. That's hard. So this is the first one I've really put all of this effort into, and really didn't slack. The other ones I should maybe fix this, but I want to get done. This one I left no stone unturned, so I'm calling it my first film, yeah.
I'm so proud to be part of it.
Is this your first time really acting?
Yeah, no, I've never acted a day in my life. So when he wrote to me and he was like, I need you to act in my film, I was like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I'm not an actress. But he told me what it was about, and deep down inside, everyone has their insecurities, and no matter what you look like, it's to step out there in the world and to be up for other people's judgments. It's a scary thing. So body dysmorphia, although I don't have that, it was easy for me to tap into just insecurities and just not feeling right.
So if someone wants to get in touch with you or see the film, how can they do that?
Residualscars.com. I'm selling the film on there, and my email is on there. I have an art show at Exit Wednesday night, the 27th, from 9 till midnight. You can come check me out there. And, that's basically it.
And what's the name of your children's book?
It's called The Bugguzz, BUGGUZZ.com.
Do you have a website you want to plug besides that?
Nope, just Bugguzz.com.
Bugguzz.com! Hit it! All right, now we're at the sketching booth, and I'm here with the artists. You are?
Carly Dytrych.
And?
G. Edwin Taylor.
So, what made you guys decide you want to draw scary things?
Just sort of developed on its own from grade school up.
Oh, I've always been interested in monsters and horror ever since I was a little kid. Like when I was 5, I had the 18-inch Alien doll for Christmas as a toy. It's just been part of me for as much as I can remember.
So, what was your favorite horror movie or specific one that you saw as a kid where you're just like, yes, that is me?
Hellraiser.
Oh wow, I can't even remember now. I got to think about that.
You had
Dracula with Bela Lugosi.
You had your 5-year-old like action figure thing. You know it. You're good.
I've seen so many horror films. I don't remember like which was the first. That was the thing. I grew up on Son of Svengoolie, Creature Feature, Elvira.
What's your favorite scary thing to draw?
Oh my gosh. If you've seen my portfolio, just about anything. I really don't have any particular scary thing to draw. Anything with too many legs.
You're a leg woman.
Yes, I'm a leg woman.
Pretty much the same thing. Anything. I do have a tendency to have kind of revert back to like Lovecraft Circle, Robert E. Howard, Clark Ashton Smith, but I'll take a break from it once in a while, and then next thing I know, I'm always back doing some Lovecraftian thing.
Aren't you like excited to be here? Because I feel like this is a big community, and like these are everyone's people and stuff.
I was kind of spoiled on the fine arts world, so I'm actually really happy to kind of be getting back to this sort of base of everything. It's a lot friendlier, it's kind of more of a community, and it's much more oriented towards helping each other. It's nice, it's very homey.
Oh, it's just awesome. I've never really left it. I mean, I was born into it, and it just stays with me.
And so, finally, do you have any advice for kids who are doodling in class and like scary things?
Just keep doing it. Just keep a sketchbook and make multiple sketchbooks. Any spare time you have, anytime you feel like doodling anything extra. I mean, I've still got my high school sketchbook.
Ignore your teachers.
I would say practice, practice, practice. Study your life drawing. Draw things from life, because you need that as a foundation for anything else.
All right, so that's some solid advice from the sketch group, and we got some sort of bug there and everything, and then it's looking great. So, thanks, guys. All right, we're standing outside the theater now with the producer and actor from the movie Worm and Fatal Production Company, and you are
Zach Green, producer of the film.
And
I have no idea. No, I'm Robert Nolan, an actor in the film Worm.
So, this was your second film at the festival, not this year. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my first film, Consumption, in 2008 was produced. It was played here at Summer Slaughter Film Festival in the summer of 2008. And I'm back this year with my latest film, Worm, with the wonderful lead, Robert Nolan, who is a wonderful actor, lead actor in the movie. Unfortunately, the director, Richard Powell, couldn't make it, so the producer and actor are here. So,
was this your first horror movie?
No, it's not the first horror movie, but I have to say this is a movie of high quality, and all the producer and Richard, the writing, the script is fantastically, wonderfully done, and the production values were brought in, and all the people, the quality is just the highest that they could bring in at the time, and that's really what impressed me with the project right from the get-go.
Right. So,
sorry to steal your mic.
Oh, that's fine.
I'd like to
grab it. And so, what got you into producing movies?
Well, I met my film partner at film school. I went to school for post-production. He went to school for production. I applied to one of his ads. He needed an editor for a film of his. I ended up being his editor. We cut that film together. Realized we both want the same things in the business. Started our production company, Fatal Pictures, in 2007, and been making movies ever since. And Worm is our latest film, and we're hopefully shooting our next film after Christmas.
And then, how did you get involved with Worm? What brought you to the party?
Well, I auditioned for the role, and well, I was selected. That's basically it. Yeah, well, that's basically it. But it's really what drove me to the part is I look for quality in the scripts and the writing and the project, and that's what this has. This has a challenge for me. It's something I hadn't done to that depth before. It's a complex characterization. It's a very good script. That's what I look for, now, and I'm so happy and proud to be part of the project.
All right. And then, if someone wants to see the movie Worm or get in touch with you, how would they do it?
You can get in touch with me through fatalpictures.com. We're also all over Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. If you want to get a hold of me, just go go to my production company, fatalpictures.com, and you can definitely reach me there.
And then how would they, get in touch with you if they want you to audition?
Well, any women out there, I'll gladly give you my phone number on the air anytime. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, go.
Okay. RobertNolan.net. I'm on Facebook and IMDb, so you can reach me that way. And yeah.
Dude, you're driving like you're like 40. Like, way to be mature.
Oh, it's so funny.
You're 40, you have a beard, and you're driving a Hyundai. All right.
So I was wondering if we could do one more thing. Could we have a group hug with the camera?
Yeah, let's go. Hi, we're at the Legion Studios booth with Ryan and Spider, and they are a horror-based only.
Horror-based comic company, yeah. We publish nothing but horror stories. We don't do the superhero thing. We just want to scare people. We deal a little bit with spiritual messages. We deal a little bit with evil. But that's our game. That's what we do. We define ourselves by our stories, by our artwork, by what we publish. So.
Is there a particular horror comic book that got you guys to love it, or was it a horror movie that got you into wanting to make horror comics?
Oh, I don't know if I could single out one. Well, let me go ahead and segue into this, but Faust was a Chicago-based comic that was done by David Quinn and Tim Vigil, and honestly that created the inspiration for our newest book, which we are actually releasing here. It's hot off the presses. This is The Unseen, released specifically for Chicago-based comics. This is a little piece of Chicago comics history, believe it or not. When it was originally released, it was released in 1994, believe it or not, in the Chicago Comic Convention. We had talent including Grass Green, who were given a posthumous credit on this particular book. We also had a few other Chicago legends attached to it. Raphael Naves, Brian Azzarello helped with the inspiration for this book. But The Unseen is now out under Legion Studios. Legion Studios presents The Unseen. We put a lot of sweat, a lot of energy into it. There's a lot of passion behind it. Basically, we were looking at creating something like Faust or something like The Crow. And then also, as far as horror movies are concerned, obviously, we want to create a horror character, something like Freddy, Jason, something in that venue. So we're proud that we got to release it here at the Horror Society convention. So.
All right, and so if someone would want to buy this or get in touch with you, how would they go about doing this?
You could go to our website, it's legionstudios.com, or you could go to legionsden.com, or just basically Facebook / Legion Studios. From there you could check out whatever other books we got going on. We just turned one of our books into a short film called Masters Devils, so you could check out that and see what we got to offer.
All right, so if you want to get in on The Unseen, go to legionstudios.com. Hey, we're at the turntabling.net booth, and I'm here with
Joe Wallace
and
Jennifer Kilzner.
And what are you guys doing here at the fest?
We are selling vinyl, soundtracks, it's compact disc and vinyl, a lot of vinyl in the crates. There's a small core of hardcore vinyl junkies that we like to cater to, and it's Goblin and Ennio Morricone and Piero Umiliani and just sort of anything that's horror-related or soundtrack-related and connected genres.
So what got you into vinyl and horror movies?
Well, I think the thing about horror films is the soundtrack is key, and there's always that element of sound that has to accompany those films to make them, what they are. And the silent films obviously had no soundtrack of their own, but you still had somebody playing, so that was kind of like a very important part of the whole experience. And when I started collecting vinyl, I didn't start collecting soundtracks, but those sounds in those films, like the early, like Romero's, Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, when I heard those, that left an impression. It's like, well, where do I find that stuff? And it wasn't easy to find, so there was that sort of, it was elusive and therefore more collectible, and so it was really interesting to go out and hunt that stuff down. And, because it was an effort, it made the payoff more interesting, and like Dawn of the Dead and the Italian horror films, all of those movies have that soundtrack component that's really memorable. And you ask any fan of those movies, what did you think of the soundtrack? And they always say, well, Goblin's awesome. And there's just that sort of shared experience. People who love horror are really connected with those sounds.
So basically, they do the work for you, so you don't have to hunt things down.
Yeah, more or less.
All right. And then, what is your favorite horror movie soundtrack?
Well, I kind of like the John Carpenter collection and all the work with David Lynch, The Lost Highway. Actually, it's not horror, but it keeps the suspense really high. And a lot of the Morricone is just wonderful. He did a whole bunch of westerns, and they're just sort of, they have that, in the 60s, they have that bright sort of sense, that bright sort of, da 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 da. It's just everything that you hear. It makes you da 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 da. I don't think that's Morricone, but it's.
What's the website again to get in touch with you guys?
Turntabling.net.
All right, I'm standing here with
John Kitley.
And John, what do you do here?
I run a website called Kitley'sCrypt.com, which is basically a horror-themed website with reviews, interviews, trivia, basically using the website to try to educate horror fans and make it easier for them to discover the history of the genre.
What got you into the horror genre?
I've been a fan since I was about 6 or 7, watching stuff on TV in the 70s, early 70s. There was a lot of horror on TV, and just kind of stuck with it and got more and more into it as I got older. Been a collector for probably about 30 years of memorabilia and reference books, and started the website about almost 13 years ago to try to just expand, help people expand their knowledge about the genre.
And then, was the website something you always wanted to start, or did you have a moment of inspiration?
Well, it basically was to give me an outlet to talk about the genre. Whether or not people were going to listen or not, it didn't matter. It gave me an outlet to express my opinions and my views. And as it's progressed, more of using it more as an educational site than anything.
Do you think I should wear a top hat?
I think you would look pretty damn good in a top hat.
What have you really enjoyed at the fest this year?
I like the crowd. It's nice to see this many people coming out to see, not mainstream Hollywood films. So anytime when they're showing independent films at places like that, it's always great to see a crowd show up for these type of films, that it's not the same drivel that Hollywood is, force-feeding the audience. So it's always cool to see that.
With how mainstream so many horror characters like vampires and zombies have become, do you think horror needs to reinvent itself, and can it?
There's always filmmakers that are going to try and reinvent the genre, and it goes in cycles. Something will come around, it'll be popular, and everybody will do it to death. Zombies are at the very end of that genre now, and vampires are now coming back, and it's a cycle. It'll go over and over again. Someone will take a genre or a character like the vampires and do something a little bit different, and it'll start a whole new trend, and then they'll run that into the ground, and something else will come along. I mean, the horror genre has been around as long as film has, and it's never going to go away.
And then for all things horror, where can they go again?
www.kitleyscrypt.com. KITLEYSKRYPT.com.
I'm at an art booth, and I'm standing here with
Alan Rehbein.
All right. And Alan is a illustrator, sculptor, designer, and a artist of all things horror. What made you decide you wanted to get into the horror genre?
Well, I'm one of the monster kids. I grew up on this stuff. I've always been into horror, but as I've gotten older, it's taken a little bit more of an erotic bent. I'm currently working on a series of paintings called the Haunted Boudoir Portraits of the Damned, which started out as a homage to all these really great 60s pop art.
And so, what do you think, I don't know, what is a particular project that you did that you were most in love with or most proud of?
Well, currently the thing I'm most proud of, in love with, is a graphic novel I'm working on. It's called Erupts. It's going to be available free online at Erupts.com. Yeah, that's what I'm working on now. I can't see that. It's an actual graphic novel. It's going to be about 1,500 pages when it's done. which is why I'm putting it online free first, because that's a big chunk of book for anybody to try to buy at one shot. And yeah, that's the thing I'm really working on right now.
Are you writing that as well, or are you just illustrating?
I'm writing, illustrating. I'm doing everything on it. It's been a huge job. I started working on it over 10 years ago, and it's all coming together now. Preview pages are up at hellerupts.com, and it's actually going to go live here hopefully very soon.
How long have you been working on this?
On Erupts, it's the first inklings of what it was going to become started in 1996. That's when I came up with the title and started designing characters. The story kind of evolved organically over time since then. Really started getting pickup speed about 1999, 2000. And but you know, life gets in the way. It's a huge project to try to do an entire graphic novel by yourself. I mean, normally it takes a team of 6 people to do 22 pages a month, and here I'm trying to do it all. So it takes a while.
So this is your masterpiece?
Until I finish it and start something new. It's a challenge. I've never done anything on this scale. I mean, I've done comics before, but this is a fully contained piece, and it's very evolved, and yeah, it's become a very personal project for me.
So, if someone wants to get in touch with you about your artwork, and would they go to hellerupts.com, or do you have your own website?
You can go to alanrehbein.com, which is hard to spell, or you can also get there from hellerupts.com. And yeah, it's the easiest way to get a hold of me, hellerupts.com. And
thank you. Good luck with that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Ready? All right, I'm going to go left. Okay. Because I'm holding the mic. All right, we're done.